Alrighty. So I'm at that stage of spiritual awakening where I have that sacred rage, the rage that no longer goes inward and becomes depression, but now is a fire pushing you to make decisions, making you do things. Yeah, that's where I'm at, and it's beautiful. And I'm not trying to put the fire out. If anything, it's here to help. That's what anger is, right? I think my relation with anger has been not the best, and admittedly, I've pushed it away a lot in my life because I've been scared of it. And I want to talk about anger today and the utility of it and getting comfortable with it because it's a journey and I'm only at the beginning of it. But I want to talk about it because I think I don't know if I get that many women that watch my channel, honestly, in the demographics, it's not that high, but maybe guys will resonate too, because, if you got too much anger, then it's like toxic masculinity, right? But I think there's a very high toxicity to not letting your anger. My relation with anger has completely changed. So let's talk about it. So when I was a child, I used to get angry all the time, and rightly so, not for nothing, for injustice. I grew up in a pretty abusive environment towards me, towards other people, and I got to witness this. And it made me very angry, so angry that my child brain would go to the darkest places with this anger. We're talking like I could have made decisions that would have changed the course of my life, kind of angry, out of the injustice. And what I got from that is that people are evil in this world, right? They don't understand, and they're cruel, and they're not willing to look at themselves and how they are interacting. And I grew a lot of that, like I want to see justice served consciousness, And there was a point, I don't remember exactly when, but I learned that anger was not helping me. It didn't help me at all. It just kept causing me pain. It didn't matter how much I cared about the people. No one seemed to care about me. It didn't care how much I wanted, justice and fairness. It was not available in my environment. And with that, I learned to turn it inward because I was scared of this anger. I was scared what it would do and the decisions that I might make based on this anger to try to bring justice to light. If you know what I'm saying, if you're reading between the lines in what I'm saying. So I turned it inward, and that became depression. That became a lot of issues in my life. I started smoking weed. I smoked weed for 12 years straight, like every day. Took a couple breaks, but you know what I loved about it? I love that it toned down this angry, or this voice in me that I didn't think anyone cared about. I thought it only brought me more pain, because anytime I would use that voice before to make things fair, make things right, it would bring me so much pain, because then, the people in your life, if they're not facing the darkness within themselves, then you're the new attack, right? You're the problem now, when you're just pointing out, when you're just reacting to what's happening to you. So I think it caused a lot of issues in my life. It caused a lot of layers of adaptation, people pleasing, fawning, and I can't sit with it anymore. I have this internal rage that's coming to the surface, and I'm fanning the flames. I refuse to let it back down, and I'm going to learn to work with it. I'm going to learn to work with it in a healthy way, and I already am, and I'm so grateful. But these things change the course of our lives, right? Who would I be if I never hushed that anger? Who would I be if I didn't turn it inward? Who would I be if I didn't people please and fawn? You know what I mean? I don't know who I'm going to be. I don't know who I'm going to be in the future, but I see all of those things as tools that I learned, but they don't have to be at the forefront of everything that I do. I don't have to be accommodating. I can be accommodating. I don't have to be empathetic. I can be empathetic. I don't have to put myself in your shoes and see where you're coming from and try to understand you, but I can if I want to. I'm changing the way I'm looking at these things and the way I process. I'm not going to over accommodate people. If someone, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just not going to do it. These are skills that I've learned, and they're tools, but they're not me. They're not me. And I don't want to live a life anymore where I get stuck in loops of depression, where I feel like I'm just going through the motions. And I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have these opportunities presented to me. Sometimes you go your entire life and you don't see these patterns for what they are. You don't see what they're doing. You just wonder, like, man, am I ever going to find my people? Am I ever going to find my person? Am I ever going to find what resonates with me? And you're probably not. You know, you do it long enough and you go mad. Like, I literally got to a place I'm like, if I'm sane for another day, I'm going to go insane. But you don't, like, this reality is just a mirror. And the sooner we realize that, the better. That's why manifestation is great. It takes the ownership and puts it back on you. It takes the responsibility, the accountability, and puts it back on you. That's what I love so much about it. And that stuff, learning, personal development, you know, self-development, manifestation, all that stuff, that saved my life. I was reflecting on that. It was like 12 years ago I started all of this, 2014. It was like the summer of 2014. I was like, I need to make a change in my life. You know, I'm just going to take radical ownership and I'm going to take a change. And my life changed dramatically that year, the following year. I went from being someone who had to drop out of college because not only could she not afford it, but she wasn't showing up to class. She'd rather, you know, party, drink, you know, smoke, do other drugs than go to school. I didn't care. I was failing. I was flunking out. I went back. I got hired by the Dean of Students office. I was working for another office. Me working for the Dean of Students, come on. You know what I'm saying? And then I was a straight A student. Like, all of these things change when we look at ourselves and we look at how we're doing these things and we change. That was so long ago now. But I took those lessons, those fundamentals, and I've kept them with me. It's all building blocks, right? We're all going somewhere. We're all doing something. Who knows? Who the hell knows, you know? Watch this all just be like all these stories that we think we're doing. But I think we're all here to get closer to our true selves, or at least some of us are, you know? Some of us loop for eternity. I've seen this with my parents, you know? I decided to keep a close relationship with my parents. It's been the most challenging relationship of my life. But it has also been the most rewarding in a lot of ways. And other people in my shoes, siblings in my shoes, would not have didn't choose what I chose. And we're always making decisions, right? And I've done a video about this where our choices are making us, and they are. But the great thing about life is it's always carrying us. We always get another opportunity. It's always going to loop again back. And we'll have another opportunity to choose differently. But to get closer to our true selves, get to know our shadow, get to know the dark and dirty parts of ourselves, you know what that takes? That takes compassion. It takes you looking at your life, looking at how you are with compassionate eyes first, and then learning how to reparent yourself in certain ways, learning how to be there for yourself, learning how to be real honest with yourself. Because if you keep getting people in your life that aren't resonant with you, that just suck the life force out of you, you can create negative stories about these people. But that's not going to help you because you got leaks. That doesn't help you at all. Sure, what does that story do for you other than make you feel better than? Doesn't help you. You got leaks within you. I've got leaks within me. I got to figure out how to fix these leaks. Because when I'm around people, a lot of people, some people not so much, but other people, I get drained. It's like the life force gets sucked out. And you know why? It's because I'm on hyper alert. I'm hyper aware of what people are feeling, what they're thinking. I'm thinking about all the dynamics that are happening. I'm thinking about how to be my most engaging self. And a lot of this is just subconscious, right? I'm not actively doing this. I'm not a psychopath. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be this. No, it's like you just pick up these things along the way and how to adapt and how to navigate when you come from certain environments. And they stay with you. A lot of these things are almost hard-coded. I choose to believe they're not, although a lot of things have felt like they are hard-coded in my life. But as you lose the desire, and you lose the desire when you reduce the importance, You know, the only times I've ever people pleased the most anymore is when the importance of someone is higher than me. When I care about the dynamic more or the outcome more than being authentic, then I get myself into trouble because I'm fawning, I'm people pleasing. Excuse me. And I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I refuse to. And with this commitment to myself, it's going to change absolutely everything because it changes the basis of how I interact, right? It changes everything. But you know, when I think about people that I admire and respect, they are them wholeheartedly. You know, like as much as I don't know. Okay, I'll use my dad as an example, right? I'm not going to go into too much detail, but this is someone who you could say whatever. You could say he's a narcissist. You could say he is an abuser. You could say he's an asshole. You could say all these things. But I've also seen really beautiful, beautiful parts of him as well. But one thing that always comes to mind when I talk about my dad is no matter what, it's his way. In his life, it's his way. And he is so authentic to him. He does not care about your feelings. He doesn't. And I just don't demonize these things. I don't demonize these patterns. But, you know, I did when I was young. I used to really want him to be different. You know, I used to really want him to care. He can't care. He can't care the way that I need to be cared about or wanted to be cared about or, you know, wanted to from a parent figure. And until I realized, which for me, I'm really grateful, it happened pretty young at like 18. I was like, my parents are never going to be the idea of who I think they need to be. They're never going to be who I need them to be. And either I can keep staying and stewing in torment the way I have been my entire life, or I can just get comfortable with that and let them go mentally, emotionally, in a sense. Realize that they're never going to be the parents that I needed them to be, and let them just be who they are. And it's a whole journey, and you have to remind yourself, and you have to have that. But that's the most loving stance you can do for yourself and for anyone, is let them be who they are. Let reality be what it is and work with it to your best. Don't try to force things to be different because it's not going to work. It's just going to cause you suffering. And no one likes that. No one likes to try to be changed. Just let people do them. People change for what they want to change for. I've seen this in my own life. I've changed for people in my life, you know, because I really cared that I was hurting them, or I really cared that I was inconsiderate. All these things, but no one's going to do it for me. Someone tells me that it's not going to happen. You know, all we can do is live our life as authentically as possible. And that in itself is a daily practice. Hi, River. So right now, yes, I have sacred age. I have rage. Sacred age, sorry. River, you want to sit down? Here, sit down. Here, sit. Okay, what do you think, River? Okay, she's right here. Hello, River. Want to say hi? Hello. Oh my gosh. So, here, we can probably both get in the frame here. Hi. So all that to say is right now I got a lot of rage and I'm trying to funnel it into healthy ways. I also have made changes in my life. I've quit my job. I just couldn't do it anymore. I realized I was just doing it for money, and I didn't like it. I didn't like the environment. Recently, it was just too much. You know, they were telling me how great I am and all this. I'm like, and giving me more stuff that I don't want to do. And it's like, I just don't even, if I were going to die, which I'm very lucky, I had a health issue. I have a health issue right now. Here, I'm going to take you back. I have a health issue right now that has made me really look at my life. And I think it's where the rage has began. Because I got to a place, it was a couple weeks ago, where I was like, I need to go to the ER or I think I'm going to pass out and die. And you know what feeling I felt initially was peace. I was like, this is good. Take me now. This life isn't for me. This is my way out. I'm so grateful for this. And then I woke up and I was like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? She's scratching herself. And that's where the rage started. I was like, no, I'm not going to accept this. This is crazy. It's one thing to be okay with death if it happens, right? Which is fine. I think I'm always going to have that now based on my life experience. Like I've already been there, you know? I've already done the drugs, the crazy stuff where I thought I was going to die. I've already been there a few times. Or even myself in my own mind, you know, thinking I'm going to not be here anymore, you know? But then rage came and it's like, no. I want a life. If I'm facing my death, I want a life. I want things in my life. I want a mission. I want an adventure I'm going on next, whatever it is. I want something to pull me back in and fight for my life here. I don't want to just lay down and die. That's crazy. That's sad. That's so sad. So yeah, anyways, I've been been on a journey trying to fan the flames of this rage. Working out has helped a lot. I think working out, I think I need to consistently work out. I had stopped working out. So I had worked out a lot before, but then, you know, it's all mental stuff. You get so caught up in your image and, you know, not being comfortable with yourself and trying to perfect. And so for a long time I didn't, but I think it's really good for me, you know, allows me to stay in a more, yeah, I think it's better in a lot of ways. Anyways, I've completely lost my train of thought here because whenever my dog comes, I'm just like, oh my God, it's River. You know what I'm saying? So thanks so much for watching as always. Who knows? I might change the channel name again if you've noticed, but anyways, thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys have a great, a great rest of your day, and I will see you when I see you. Take care. Hello, River. Okay, Rosie. You want to say bye to the people? You say bye to the people? Bye, people.